Hey guys, what's going on? Got a little update here in regards to just going to show you the paint. The respirator has not gotten here yet. I'm thinking maybe tomorrow or the next day it should get here. So hopefully within one of those 2 days it'll be here. But for now, let me show you the paint. So this is the actual paint and here is the actual primer. Okay. Now, this paint I purchased from Colorite, and the only thing you have to remember with these paints, and I've learned that, is that they do contain a lot of chemicals, as with a lot of, or almost any of these paints, and you do want to have some sort of a respirator to just protect your lungs. So yeah, so I ordered two cans, I'm sorry. I probably won't even need the 2 cans, but I figured, being as I'm ordering it and the shipping was free, these are $33 each. I said, you know what, I might as well just order 2. There's you don't have to puncture the bottom, and my bike is I guess they call it a bluish gray metallic. So yeah, this is the color for that. Anyway, there's nothing to puncture on the bottom. You just basically got to shake them up real good till you hear that little ball in there shaking, and that kind of gets that mixture going, and then you can just lay your coats down. It also came with a can of the primer, and I only got 1 can of this because I didn't think I was going to need much more. So I got that 1 can of primer, which we will be getting put on there as soon as that respirator comes. Now, I also went with this clear coat, which is called the Spray Max 2K Clear Glamour. And I saw a lot of people having really good results with this on YouTube. A lot of people were really happy with it. You do have to puncture the little mixture on the bottom there, but I saw a lot of people were really happy with this clear coat, so I figured that I would go with this clear coat. And I got the 2 of these at a pretty decent price, which I don't remember right now at the moment. Anyway, I did get this. I don't know if I'm going to need it. It's Low Spot Finder Guide Coat for after putting on the primer. Whether or not I'm going to need this, I'm not really sure, but you spray it on, and while you're sanding your primer, it'll show you any spots that you may have missed while you're sanding. So that's probably something that is probably a little controversial, but in my research with painting, most of the people that I've seen laying on their primer did some sort of sanding. Will I need to? That I'm not sure about, but I figured why not have it just in case. So that's all of the paint. I did get this also, which is a touch-up paint stick in my vehicle's color, available also from Colorite. Nice to have, just in case if well, I do have a scratch on the back of the bike that I do need to use this and touch that up. So it's a pen basically, and this ought to work out pretty good. Take this on too. This is glued on. I didn't realize that. They glued this on. Right? Yeah, there's a little bit of glue in there. All the way through, or? Nah, okay. Not all the way through. Just a little bit at the edges. Okay. Probably a little bit here. I can always put that back on after. Good. Alright, so we have some 500 grit sandpaper. Just going to cut this in half. Can stuff this up with the 500 grits. And I walk down or I get home. I walk down and we hit up. Get this here. Okay. Okay. tomorrow I'll wash it down and just make sure that it's real good. It should be. Okay, so I decided that I would go ahead and lay down some primer. Now the plan, or what the plan should have been, was to spray a little bit at a time. And I think, as you'll see, I only gave like maybe a 5-minute break in between spraying, and really I should have given like a 15-minute break in between spraying. Alright, so we're going to finish up with this layer. I'm going to end up doing about probably like 1.5 coats out of this can. Kind of wish I did buy 2 cans of this, because I noticed I ended up needing it, and it just seemed like everything, or every moment of this video was a learning phase, because I kind of had a plan. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then there were some things that I just didn't do, like the timing. You know, I didn't really space out the timing like I really wanted to. But all in all, I thought the primer actually didn't come out too bad, although it could have been a little heavier on the top end of it, the top end of the fairing. I think if I had a chance to do this over, what I would do is I would spray the sides from south to north, spray the top from south to north, and then just build up the coats that way, as opposed to what I was doing here, which was starting on one side spraying and then spraying all the way across. I think that would have gotten a lot more paint onto the material and saved me a lot of time. Alright, so here we are going to start laying down the base coat. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to sand down my primer, but as you can see, just looking at it, the primer actually didn't look bad. I just think the nose area, right above the nose area, right where you see it's hanging by the string, that area needed way more primer. And you can kind of see it, that it's a little bit light there. And I really should have taken a little more time to notice that. So you can see I'm not taking a break in between coats, like how I just put that there, then I'll probably wait like a minute or two and then I'd be spraying again, whereas I probably should have waited 10 to 15 minutes, let it tack dry, and then go back in for another coat. And that ended up hurting me in the end.
Again, just way too much paint going down, and looking at it now, I'm like, man, I should have just done a couple light coats. But this is just inexperience, you know, and unfortunately, you know, you make these mistakes and you kind of just have to learn from them.
I think I got the sides good. I got here okay and here okay, but here I think I could have went heavier with primer to make it look a little more solid. I think maybe to me it looks like it's not very solid, but it's not bad. So I just let it dry for a bit, and I'm about to hit it with the clear now. All right, after looking at it a little bit better, it kind of looks more like orange peel, so I figured I'd wet sand it down a little bit, just lightly, not anything crazy, just to bring it down some, just to bring down the orange peel. And it's weird because I only have it up here.
Now, what I take away from this definitely is light coats, set a timer, 10-15 minutes in between, let it tack dry, spray on a little bit of coat, a little bit of paint, do multiple light coats for your base. I would think also the same for the primer, and that would have eliminated a lot of the orange peel that I ended up seeing. So I did end up sanding this down. I had to sand it down a lot and ended up getting it smooth. And then I figured what I would do is I would just get some new primer and I would just prime over it again. Actually, in theory, maybe I probably could have just laid down more base over it lightly, but I took a step back, reevaluated what I did wrong, and also speaking with my buddy Jason, who helped me a lot, and reevaluate just what ended up going wrong and why I got so much orange peel. And then that's when he gave me that tip that you spray a little bit, wait 10-15 minutes, spray a little bit more, just multiple light coats, taking your time and getting the paint on there, and go from there. So in the next video, we're gonna go over the repaint. Thank you for watching.
Rinse it off. Feels a little better, not great. but a little better. Now let it dry. I'll be right back.